Hello. Welcome to Nothing in the Crib. It's been forever. I'm very behind on things. God damn it. This bitch won't go away. Fucking, again, Dylan Mulvaney. Again. So, in the highest act of treason, Judy Blume interviewed her. If you don't know who Judy Blume is, for people my age, they were like growing up books that you read, like, what is it? Hey God, it's me, Margaret. That shit. Stuff about like getting your period. And they were really good books. Like, they were actually like helpful and well written and very relatable and not gross. And this fucking bitch interviewed Dylan Mulvaney and had a whole ass conversation, entertained a whole conversation about men getting periods. Like, you bitch. You're a traitor. You're a fucking traitor. So we can add that to the boycott list. Not that anybody, no, I'm sure people still buy that shit, but like, I personally wasn't seeking it out, but don't. She's a fucking traitor. Also, Dylan, just go away. God. This cannot possibly be what your end goal was. You're so hated by like everybody now. Because you're fucking annoying. So I didn't realize this. All the clips of Biden falling at the naval shit. Somebody had, I love the internet so much. Somebody had made a meme and they had edited in an AI voiceover of Trump in Biden's earpiece. And I didn't realize there was more that he fucked up than the fall, because they did the entire first half of it also. So go look it up. The video of him just trying to get to the podium, like them trying to let him walk by himself, because they're like, okay, see that big black box over there with the microphone on it, the one that you have to talk into like once a day? Do we recognize that? Okay, so you're just gonna walk from here, walk straight to that thing. Like, how could you possibly fuck it up? You just walk straight to that thing. Walks straight past it. To, like, nothing. And the faces of the people behind him, because everybody is so just like, Jesus Christ. Because they know he's fucking it up also. And he's talking to the wrong people. And they're just like, yes, hi, hello, how are you? And I'm sure everybody's just trying not to piss their pants laughing at this man. So that went on for a while, and then he fell. I also love somebody panned in on the chick who was walking towards him, and then he fell, and she was like, nope. And she immediately turned around and walked away, which, good for you. It's amazing. This is like a joke. We're like the meth head fucking country that everybody, like, this is insane. That's our fucking leader of our country, who can't just walk from point A to point B because he cannot find it, and also because he will fall. So that's still going on. I want to talk about election shit. We know that I don't vote. I don't believe in voting. Voting for a two-party system is so fucking stupid. They're just giving you the illusion of having a choice, because then you're less inclined to start shit and question things. Just so you guys all know, that's where that's coming from. But this one's interesting because I like RFK. And the fact that he called out publicly already the CIA and was like, no, this is definitely what happened. This is what we've all thought was happening. And his interview with Russell Brand was disturbing. I highly recommend listening to it because he goes into really, really grave detail of his own personal experience of the stuff that was going on, like directly personally, with his father, with everything else, right before he got killed. And all the shit that was going on. And he's like, this is how I know that this is bullshit and that this is what happened. And once he explains it, you're like, holy fuck. They really killed him. We all knew that, but like, it's another thing to know it. And then he talks about this other crazy shit. He really throws a lot of people under the bus. And the fact that he's so, like, against all the parts of the government I don't like, I do like him. Immediately, we should be fearing for his life, of course. I'm sure they'll find a way to have him not end up being the candidate because he's somebody that could actually win. And he's like Trump. Like, they don't want him there because they can't do anything with him because they're like, fuck you. Which, that particular trait, I do like. I did read, this is on one of my more conspiracy threaded things that I was on. I know that Michelle Obama vehemently insists that she would never run for president. And I do truly believe that she doesn't want to. But somebody was making some rumblings that if they can't find a way, like Biden, obviously, he can't run. I'm hoping, ideally, all of the shit that's about to come out with all the corruption, all the shit that everybody knew, but like now we can prove it. With all that shit coming out, I think that'll maybe knock him out of the runnings. Maybe not. Maybe they'll try to, they won't be able to salvage it though. But if it becomes between him and RFK, then of course we all know who would probably get the actual candidacy. But what would happen if, in order to wipe that man right off the plate, they convince Michelle Obama to run? Because that bitch is liked. She's extremely popular with people. I feel like she would definitely win the nomination. And then that would be somebody to worry about because that is somebody who could legitimately win. But I'm curious to see how this all plays out. I cannot see a scenario where they allow RFK Jr. to even get the nomination. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe things are changing. They're not, but whatever. And then, on the opposite side, I was actually kind of surprised by this one. I was a little surprised that Ron DeSantis is... Oh, well, I was surprised and not surprised that he's running for president. Here are my thoughts on this that nobody fucking asked for. Between my own, this is my own personal opinion on this. Between Trump and DeSantis, I would prefer Trump to be president. Again, because he's a little bit more of the fuck you to the government, which Ron DeSantis is also, but it's the way in with which they do it. Because Ron DeSantis seems to do it in a get angry and then, okay, you're going to do this, I'm going to do this then kind of way. Where he like one-ups it and then he starts sliding into like territory where I'm like, meh, becoming a little far-leaning with this shit. But that's just my own personal feeling on that. And I'm so curious again with who would get that nomination because I feel like if it was just Trump versus DeSantis, I feel like DeSantis would maybe get it. But it's not. So you have to take into account anybody else running and some of those votes that are going to get pulled out of going to either one of them. And I feel like the smart move would have been to, like, for DeSantis anyway, go collect up all those people who'd be running and be like, hey, we got to work together. I'll give you XYZ positions, blah, blah, blah. You back me, and together we can beat him. Which maybe would have worked. But now you got to think, yeah, Trump isn't going to get some votes now, but neither is DeSantis because he's going to get votes pulled from the others. I don't know. It just seems, again, I'm so curious. There's so many options. Normally, like, you can, you're like, yeah, this will probably go this way, whatever. But there's so many variables at play here. Like, there's shit that's going on right now that I'm sure will change things. Like, all of the fucking... Did you guys see the pictures that they were pulling off some of the documents? There was one specific thing. It was Hunter Biden with a hooker, obviously. And then it was a lot of, like, very, like, artily taken photos of just, like, big trays of crack. Which is amazing. This is like an episode of Gotham, like the fucking president shit right now. This is like how that would be portrayed in a fucking show like that. Just comically fucking dark. Lori Lightfoot looks like she already stars in that show all the time. I miss her. Oh my God, I do. I miss that bitch. She was so good for just doing crazy, unhinged fucking things. And then looking crazy and unhinged while she was fucking doing it. Which is incredible. So we do. We miss you, Lori. And I'm pretty sure that the person who's in there now is fucking it up worse than she did. Oh my God. I'm hungover. I'm struggling today. Sorry, guys. I can't believe that this fucking, like, trans athletic shit just never goes away. I do like this one, though. Chelsea Mitchell is suing the state of Connecticut after losing to trans athletes. So she runs track and field, which, that was my sport. I'm very partial to it. And she lost, obviously, to trans athletes because you're running against men. This is fucking batshit. You're running against men. Of course you're gonna fucking lose. I have said this before. I will say it again. I was super fucking fast. I'm still fast as fuck, boy. But even a non-running, like, it was the throwers. Big fat fucking throwers were running as fast as I was. Which makes total fucking sense because of the different biology and physiology of men and women. So that part's fucking crazy. I can't fucking imagine. I would be suing people too. I would be suing the whole fucking state also. That's crazy to me. I would be fucking irate. The fucking scholarships that these chicks are missing out on because they're losing their placings to even compete in, like, nationals and shit like that where colleges see you. They're losing that because they're losing to men. I will say that she has dubbed herself the fastest woman in Connecticut. I have questions. How are we quantifying that? I know they say to never judge a book by its cover, but just from looking at the photo of her, I don't know if you're the fastest woman in Connecticut. I understand why you're saying that. I get it. It's very helpful to this, and it's like an eye-grabby thing. But are you really the fastest? hope somebody posted. I want to see a video. I'm sure there's someone out there. I'm sure I can find one if I'd actually look before I said that out loud. I'm going to look for a video of her running so I can judge it. Even though I have very little of that caliber of athletic ability left in me, I don't give a shit. I love talking shit. Talk shit about anything. I don't care. I feel very comfortable talking shit all the time, though, because I'm the first person to talk shit about myself also. And I think that's important. I think that's a very important quality. Because then it also stopped, like, there's some stuff I won't talk shit about. Anything that somebody could be like, hey, back to me. I'm like, we'll stay off topic of that. Like, we just won't touch that one. But anything else, like, full force. If you make fun of yourself, then you can talk shit about anybody. I highly recommend it. It's cathartic. Well, we all knew I'm doing this instead of fucking therapy. Clearly. I'll do anything except for fucking therapy, obviously. It seems to be helping. So I've been to therapy one time. I'll tell you guys this because it's funny. I did go to therapy one time. And I, overall, had a very positive experience. I actually gained something from therapy. Therapy was court-ordered. So it was my baby daddy. And we didn't go together. We had separate sessions with the same therapist. And very expensive, by the way. Holy shit. He was a great therapist. Totally worth it. Like, he really was legitimately worth it. But also, holy fuck. It was $250 a session. So, a grand later. Oh my god. Fucking. Well, what he said to me was worth it. I would have paid $1,000 for it anyway. But, it was our last session. And I was saying something to defend my baby daddy, and the therapist looked me dead ass in my face and was like, did it ever occur to you that maybe you have it backwards, and that is that version of that person, and that he's actually an asshole? And again, you can see why I would pay $1,000 for that. I think anybody that had it on hand would fucking do that. So, again, I did gain something from therapy. I did skip out of the building. And nobody could tell me shit for like a week. Because I was like, well, now I have this knowledge in my brain. Well, we get that so rarely. It's not very often that you have a neutral third party confirm what is essentially just an opinion that you hold. So I do recommend therapy if that's your thing. And if you can afford it. Holy shit. Really is expensive. I hate how why are essential things like that like fucking, why is eye shit so expensive? I'm fucking legally blind. I can't see shit. I've worn glasses since 2nd grade. I started wearing contacts in 6th grade, which I still do. But like, why is that shit so expensive? Why are you making it so hard for people to just fucking see shit? So we can just like walk and drive. And they make you. I have a fucking thing on my goddamn license that's like, if this person does not have corrective lenses, and they can fucking arrest me. Which, if ever I don't have them in, you should fucking arrest me, because I can't even walk from like one side of the room to the other without the shit in. And to be fair, I can barely see with them in, because, here's a great hack for you guys. So I use 1-800 contacts, and during COVID, they added this feature of a virtual eye exam. So my prescription for my shit had already been a couple years old, so I probably already wasn't working with what I should have been. But the way they have it on your phone is you put your phone up and then you stand. It'll be like back up. And when it registers that you're so many feet away, it'll be like, okay, stop. And then you have to read out loud, like shout out loud the letters. So I obviously couldn't see shit. And I wasn't going to go pay for a whole new all of the bullshits. So I figured out that I can put my son, like, to fucking trigger the whatever thing on the phone, and then I can stand right next to my phone and I can just read it right off the thing. So I've been just doing that. If you get in a pinch for prescription, if that works for you, I highly suggest it. But also, on the other hand, my prescription is not even remotely current. And I can't see shit. My glasses are more current, but I refuse to wear them. I absolutely won't. I had to wear Coke bottle. I'm old. So, like, there were no cute glasses. Cute glasses were never a thing for the entirety of when I wore them. So they were perfectly round Coke bottle fucking lenses. And because I'm so blind, they're like that fucking thick. They didn't have all those fancy cool materials they have now. Like my lenses on my glasses now, for modern glasses, are still extremely fucking thick. They still stick out of the fucking frame. But they're not like the Hubble telescope fucking bullshits that I had to wear my whole life. And I picked what I liked, which was like teal and turquoise, like tie-dye marbling frame for lenses that were this thick. It wasn't good. So I refused to wear glasses. I also can't do shit with them. I feel like I have a blind spot on both sides. Because you do. And I just, like, I can't work out in glasses. They fucking slide off your face. Nothing would be more annoying to me than that. That's probably the main fucking reason. And I don't care how well fitted they are. If you look down long enough, they're going to fucking slide down your nose. Grow up. Wear fucking contacts. Some people look really cute in glasses, though. I just don't. I don't know. But again, why is it so expensive? Like stuff like that shouldn't be expensive. Like little maintenance items that are important. Fucking tampons and pads. Why does that stuff cost so much? Shit. I stopped using that stuff because, and again, this was a really hard transition for me to make because I made fun of my best friend who's a huge fucking hippie for years because she used a moon cup. So I refuse to use a moon cup still, but I do use the flex discs. So tampons are super bad for you. Any kind of like the cotton, any of that shit. Like pads are better, but regular tampons are so fucking bad for you. And the moon cup is crazy because you literally stick like a cup like up your vagurge and then like you pull it out and empty it, put it back in. The flex discs are a little bit easier because you just like squeeze them and kind of put them in like a tampon and then it turns into like a shallow cup. It sits like under your cervix. And then you can just like throw it out because it has like 12 hours of wear. But it's made out of all natural safe shit. There's no fibrous bullshit in there. And I know they sound scary, but they're really not that bad. I do highly recommend something like that. I think her thing's called like a Diva Cup. I don't know. But the Flex Sticks are great. And then I have Flex Sticks. Flex discs. God, I got so drunk last night. Horrible. So old. It affects me so much. And then the Diva Cup thing. I'm too afraid to do the Diva Cup because it's like an actual cup. I don't know. But I would look it up. Just look up all the information and then make your decision for yourself. Not trying to push anything on anybody. But you'd have to be crazy to read all the stuff about like tampons and everything and still fucking use them. And that in and of itself Like, and again, that's why we all get so mad about the trans stuff. Like, have a fucking period. If you had to have a real period forever in order to be to be a trans woman but call yourself a real woman, I don't think anybody would make it. You would have to be batshit fucking crazy. It's so nuts. Just wake up fucking psychotic one day or wake up like suicidally depressed one day for no fucking reason. And some days you don't want to eat. Some days you want to eat everything. And then you're also bleeding out of your fucking cooch. And if you're one of the lucky people who has like a really bad period, that's what you did. Not even the full period. Make them go through a period where you are shedding blood clots. That's all it would fucking take. When you get a cramp so bad that it feels like somebody's fucking cutting you open with a machete from the fucking back. And then when you go to the bathroom, the huge globby fucking like clot. Like you hear the soft plop as it comes out of you. And then you're like, oh, that's what that was. My body was literally squeezing a chunk of its own flesh out of me. Make them go through that. And if you go through that and you're like, yes, I am 100% willing to go through this for no less than 3 days, a month, every month for the next 50 years, then sure, we'll call you whatever the fuck you want. But until then, shut the fuck up. Sit down. Sit down, Judy Blume and fucking Dylan Mulvaney. Ugh. Makes me sick. Used to love that bitch. I don't know. Alright, we're cutting this one short today because I'm fucking struggling. I promise I will get caught up with everything. Eventually. Maybe. I don't know. Alright. Love you. Bye.